Welcome back, everybody. Today we're looking at a little VOX AC4TV amplifier. This guy got brought in, no real known issues other than that it had a problem. It had been sitting long enough, it was forgotten about. I fired it up and it sounded fine until the sound just completely cut out, and then there was a puff of smoke that came out from the back somewhere, and I didn't get a chance to see where. So I then fired it back up and was monitoring the, basically checking the temperature on different components. With these small amps, I usually suspect heat as an issue, especially ones like this that have the built-in attenuation. That extra energy has to go somewhere. And you can see these larger resistors here are where that heat's going to drop or turn from voltage into heat to dissipate. I actually didn't find a problem there, but did find that the EL84 that was in place, after I fired it up again and it cut out and we lost this tube. So I replaced it with a new EL84 and found that the heaters, this fuse here that's missing, was blown. So I think we have a short, either had a short in the old tube for the heaters, or have some other issue going on. Maybe there's on the underside of this board, there's a trace for the heaters that it has arced. So I'm going to actually pull this circuit board and then take a look at that before replacing the fuse here. Then we'll fire it back up and see if we have any sound. Stay tuned here. Okay, so we have the board removed just enough to see what's going on here. These are our two tube sockets. This is for the 12AX7 here and the EL84 there. You can see some definite heat. Let me see if I can get a better light for you there. Yeah, so all of this discoloration here on the EL84 is not unexpected for an amp like this. EL84s are almost always run very hot in these smaller amps, whether it's a Fender or a Vox or whatever. But I'm not seeing any kind of arcing or evidence of carbon buildup from the heaters. That's really all I want to see here. So I'm going to put this back, put a new fuse in, and then we'll monitor and see if there's still an issue or if it was just a bad EL84. All right, putting this back together. Well, it seems as though we have a working amp here. Let's see if we can get some sound. This is pulling back the tone control. This is volume. I can turn off the attenuator here. Go from, let's see, this is 4 watt to 1 watt to 1/4 watt. Really brings volume down. So if you have a similar issue, sound cuts out, it could very well just be the EL84, and then also this second fuse right here, the one closer to this side is a 160 milliamp slope blow fuse. That's for the heaters for the tube. And again, with any of these smaller amps like this that are running EL84s, they really like to run those tubes hot. You can see how much that thing lights up. So they're going to be hard on tubes. These are great little amps for practicing at lower volume, but keep a spare EL84 on hand, or two even, And it might be worth picking up some of those fuses if you're comfortable checking for voltages and making sure it's going to be safe to change that out. All right, this one was pretty quick and easy. We'll be back later this week with more bigger in-depth repairs. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good evening.